We tag this message sneak preview. When you go to the show or you're at home relaxing and watching Netflix, whatever it is, you can watch the trailer of other movies and they give you a little insight on what that movie's about. And then you can make a decision whether you want to watch it or not. If there's something you want to watch, you see something that you like, and you say, oh, let me watch that. This morning we're going to take a sneak preview in the book of Revelation. And the book of Revelation can be kind of scary a little bit. I'm not trying to scare you. Well, yes, I am. I'm trying to scare the hell out of you. So I didn't get there. But we'll get back to it. But there are many things about the future that is thrilling, but there are many things about the future that is terrifying. There is much that is glorious, but there also is much that is grievous. The book of Revelation is largely a vision that John saw when he was caught up in the spirit. An angel appeared to him and told him in Revelation, the first chapter, 11th verse, saying, I am Alpha Omega, the first and the last. What thou seest, write in a book. There are many things that John saw that blessed his heart. But no doubt, what he saw in the scenes before us broke his heart. What John saw in Revelation, the 20th chapter, the 11th through the 15th verse, must have been difficult. Must have been a very difficult thing for him to watch. Verse 12, John saw a time when the dead, small and great, stood before God. And it was a time that that was called the second death. The time that John saw was when every lost man of every age would stand before God. And the statement small and great refers to the lost. People from every walk of life. It doesn't make no difference what side of the tracks you were raised on. It don't make no difference how much money you was left in a will. What type of prep school that you went to. You gonna stand before God. Somebody say amen. And there is not one saved person present at the great white throne. There's only one present, and there's only one present are those that are being, from the beginning of time to the end of time, that died without accepting Jesus. Jesus gives a choice. Now, he only gives us two things. He commands things and he demands things. He don't ask us to do nothing. Then after he commanded and he demanded, he says, now you make a decision. So all of those that are going to be in front of that great white throne are those that decided not to follow Jesus. Now, just because a person go to church don't mean they follow Jesus. Let's make that clear. Okay? Some people come to church because that's what they did all their life. Mama got me up, got me to church, and just built this side to go to church. And daddy got me up and but sometimes mama just dropped you off and you came in and you got the treats and drinks around and you went home. And you never got Jesus. Or it was a social hour. You come and you hung out with your friends. And then once everybody went home, you went back home and started doing the same thing you was doing before. But you never received Jesus. Never received Jesus. Verse 13 tells us that death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. Every person that was dead and went to hell will be resurrected and brought before the great white throne. Somebody say that? Don't be scared now. A throne is mentioned 30 times in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, just in the book of Revelation, 30 times. But this throne is very distinct. This throne is unique. This throne is the most unique throne out of all of them. The throne is a symbol of authority, a power. But John saw this throne as a throne of prestige. He saw this great throne, meaning that it was the highest throne, the most prestigious throne that he had ever seen. He also saw this throne as a throne of purity. It was this great white throne. White speaks of purity and righteousness, and this throne is a throne of absolutely justice and absolutely holiness. All verdicts and judgment issued from this throne are true and righteous. You can take that to the bank. Somebody say, y'all awful quiet on me this morning. It is a judgment that involves every lost man in every woman. John also saw the fear that will grip the hearts of the lost at this great white throne. He reads in verse 11, and I saw the great white throne and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them, no place for them. This great white throne, if you try to run from it, you can't hide from it. There's no mountain high enough to hide from it. There's no valley low enough to hide from it. There's no corner you can go around to hide from it. There's no secret room in your house that you can go into to hide from it. Everybody that had refused Christ is going to sit in front of this great white throne. Because here's the bottom line, you cannot hide from God. So it makes me believe that the future events such fearful matter. It's a very fearful matter. And it's just the sight of the Lord Jesus Christ, this great throne of prestige and a throne of purity because of who Jesus saw sitting on the throne. Who John saw, sitting on the throne. We read in verse 11 that John says here, he says, him that sat on the throne, we read in verse 11 that it will be beholding to the face of him that sits on the throne, that the throne that feels the loss of the fear of the lost. I believe, and I know I'm not no theologian, but I believe that the person that John sees sitting on the cross, on that throne, sitting on the throne, was Jesus Christ. That was Jesus. Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. If you look at the book of John, in the 5th chapter, the 22nd verse, here's what it says. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath commended all judgment unto his Son. Who's the Son? Y'all can speak up. Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely, the Son is Jesus. And I read about a woman who got in some trouble. And she needed a lawyer. And she kept waiting, till she received the summons in the mail, said court trial date is this day. And she jumps up and she runs out. She knew this lawyer that was very, very, very well known, and she knew that he could take care of the matter for her. And when she went to his office, she knocked on the door. He said, come on in, but I can't represent you now. He said, because I'm going to be your judge. But see, she had opportunity to go to him first, talk to him about the situation, and get it taken care of. But she procrastinated and didn't get there. Now he's going to sit on the throne and judge her. If we don't go and talk to Jesus, and if you're not in Jesus, say, Lord, here I am, and put your case in front of him, where he could be your Savior, he's going to be your judge. I'd rather for him be my Savior and protect me than the, hey! Huh? She waited. Now he's going to be a judge. But if you look at the book of Hebrews in the 9th chapter, 27th verse, and it says in here, it says, and as it appointed unto me once to die, but after this, the judgment. John saw the day of judgment, and he saw the day of every person who died, lost, without Christ, will be stand before him, stand before Jesus. Stand before Jesus. The judgment of the great white throne is this terrifying sight. Also, the judgment of the great white throne, it fills the heart of those present in front of him with fear. You can read your Bible all you want to. Read from back to come, you can know every chapter in there, verse, and someone that say, oh, I got a toe ache, go to Romans and go to my stomach hurt, go to this. You can have all of that. But if you haven't accepted Jesus as your Savior, you ever heard someone say, educated fool? A bunch of them. John saw that day. The judgment of the great white throne is terrifying. And here's what it reads in verse 12. It says, the dead were judged. And also in verse 13, you read, they were judged. The word judge speaks of a sentence that's being passed down. When you go before your judge, he sentences you. But this sentence is for everlasting. There's no do 6 months and out, back on the streets. This is everlasting. Everlasting. And it says also the dead were judged out of the books of those things which were written in the books. And one set of books is recorded in earthly life. Verse 12 says to us, the books were open. And what are these books? Twice we are told about these books that will be judged from, and according to our works, and in verses 12 and 13, the books set contains the works of every person. The works of her are spoken of, talking about your sinful deeds, things you think nobody's seen you do, because it was dark. Jesus sees everything. Your sinful thoughts. Thank you. Jesus knows. He knows everything. So you're going to be judged on those sinful things that you have done. Your sinful thoughts. Your sinful acts. Every sinful thought that you have, it's already in the book. God is keeping a ledger. And he's writing it down. There is not one sin that has been committed by a person that's going to escape the knowledge of God. You have not gotten away with it. You may think you have gotten away, but you have not gotten away with it. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to scare you, but again, I'm trying to scare the hell out of you. One day God will expose the human heart On that day, every last person will face every sin they have ever committed. It is interesting that that works are never the basis of salvation. I got a sister here who reads the Bible. Works, let me say it again, is not the basis of your salvation. But it will be the basis of your judgment. The second book that we see introduced is this here. At the great white throne, this book is recorded of eternal life. Verse 12 tells us that it's a book of life. It's a book of names. And for verse 15 tells us that whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into a lake of fire. Cast into a lake of fire. The book of life is the book that contains the name of every person that has been saved. Okay? If you look at the book of Luke in the 10th chapter, 21st, Jesus told his disciples to rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Today I rejoice because some 20 years ago, in my bedroom window looking out, about the year 2000, I stood there and said, Lord, take me. Been going to church all my life. I was raised in the church. Daddy's Baptist preacher, 4 brothers as preachers in Baptist pastor church. But I did not accept Jesus. I was just going. I was just going and filling a seat. But 20 years ago, I said, Jesus, here I am. So I know now that my name is in that book. Okay? And I don't worry about that hell of fire, that lake of fire, because I know my name is written in the book of life. Think about it. Where's your name? Where's your name? Where's your name? Where is your name? Let me say it one more time. Jesus, I don't believe they believe that. Where is your name? But do you believe that? That your name is written in the book of life. In the Philippians, the 4th chapter, in the 3rd verse, Paul spoke of those. He said, whose names are in the book of life. And I rejoice today that my name is in the book of life. I rejoice today because you said your name is in the book of life. That means when all this is over, I'll see you again. I'll see you again. When the Lord Jesus opens a book of life, he finds not the names of the lost. Matthew, the 7th chapter, 23rd verse tells us that he says, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye of iniquity. The great white throne is a time when the Lord Jesus will pass an ultimate sentence on those who are unsaved. The white throne judgment will be nothing like a modern day court. You're not going to get judged and walk out and put up a bond. Post bail. That's what they call it, post bail. You're not going to post bail and walk out. You're not going to do that. There will be no appeals. There will be no continuance. You can't say, oh God, I messed up, but if you give me continuance, I'll get it right. No lawyer going to be able to stand for you and say, Judge, he has good character. He's a man of the community, or she works down at the shelter every day, feeds the homeless. That won't get it. But when you are sentenced to pass, and read in verse 14, it says, and the death and hell were cast into a lake of fire. This is the second death. The lost person's freedom from hell will be brief and limited. After the sentence is passed, they will hear the Lord say, according to Matthew, the 25th chapter, the 41st verse, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for you, for the devil and his angels. But it will be nothing but fire and gash your teeth. And every time you look up, you can look up and see heaven. And everybody shouting, Lord, but you had a chance to be there. But this is your decision that you have made. Because you have not received Lord as your Savior. They will go into the fire lake. Every lost person dies once, goes to the fire. But the great white throne will be like the death repeated for them, will be cast into the lake of fire. I can think of 101 terrible things that could happen to a person that I would not want to face, but I would not want to face a lake of fire. Total torment for the rest of your life. Burning, gashing your teeth. So I mean, there must be some little blood in there somewhere too. Again, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to scare the hell out of you. If a person does not want to be a part of the heart-wrenching, heart-terrifying scene, then it's important that your name be written in the book of life. How does one get their name in the book of life? It's about coming to Jesus. If you're here today, you have never accepted our Savior as your personal Savior. If you have never repented of your sins, so ask the Lord to forgive you. This is your day. This is your day. That you will leave here knowing that your name is in the book. Praise team sang the song, says, my name is on it. Got a blessing. My name. He blessed me with his joy. He blessed me with his peace. Oh, dear God, he blessed me with his forgiveness. And after I received him, he blessed me with his salvation. Somebody needs to shout today. Because he went to the cross. Because he died on the cross that I may have salvation. He hung there and they laid him down in a tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. But he rose again. I may have salvation. He paid the price. All he says, I reach my hand out to you. Come.